Warning: this video contains the crazed ramblings of a mad game dev scientist. Watch at your own risk. This video contains full spoilers for Inscryption. Please play it if you have not already. Seriously, it's worth it. As I'm sure anyone who's tuned into my channel before will know, I absolutely adore the game Inscryption. From the moment I started the game, to the moment I reached the end credits, and up until this very day, Inscryption has held a place in my heart and mind as one of the greatest indie games ever made. Heck, it's one of the greatest games ever made, period. And today, I want to talk a little bit about why. When I first booted up Inscryption in the late spring of 2022, I wasn't entirely certain what to expect. The game had sat in my Steam wishlist for a while at that point, and I heard whispers around the internet that this game was not normal, that it did things games weren't supposed to be able to do, that it could go so far as to delete files. And when I finally caved and shelled out the $20 to buy the game, I had no clue what was going to happen. And from the first moment you boot up the game, it is made very clear that this game is not going to be normal. After a blink and you'll miss an intro with the voice of an unknown individual saying,
"Okay, time to figure out what's on this thing."
You're greeted by a title screen with a broken new game button. Because in Inscryption, you don't start a new story, you only continue from where others have left off. This game was fun. It was weird, it was hard. Some cards talked to me, hinting that there was more in this dark and mysterious cabin than met the eye. It was clear that I had to find a way to beat this mysterious pair of swirly twirly eyes at its own game. But a lot of that weirdness slowly began to fade away. The thing is, Inscryption's Act 1 is very long. It's a gritty, dark, fleshed out game about card battles in the woods. Sure, there's an escape room built into it as well, and clear hints at a larger story going on in the background, and a mystery that you want to solve, but frankly, we're never really given substantial hints at what on earth is going on behind the scenes. Sure, there are some amount of clues and foreshadowing, but most of that only makes sense on subsequent playthroughs. And sure, if you beat Leshy before finding the film roll, you'll find the Luke Carter segments before getting to Act 2. But even that doesn't really show all that much into the lore of Inscryption the game. But after a long line of failures, I finally made it. I prevailed and beat the Prospector, the Angler, the Trapper and Trader, and I'd finally made it to this final reckoning point. Oh. Ew. I beat Leshy. I destroyed the moon and delivered what was certain to be the final blow in this strange game. But of course, as we all know, this was not the end. Okay, so from this point on, I don't really remember too many of the specifics of my initial playthrough, because this game throws a ton at you. It only gets stranger and the story gets deeper. In Act 2, we learn about the backstory of the four scribes and their power struggle. We learn about how it was that Leshy took control of the game in the first place. And then PO3 takes his seat in power, and we are forced through his game, where the game gets even weirder. We learn more about the unfortunate tale of Luke Carter. We are forced to go along with PO3's somewhat broken game. We fight each of the Uberbots, each one with their own mechanics that break your brain in entirely different ways. And then we finally learn what PO3's master plan is, the Great Transcendence. And just before... Oh. Thanks, Leshy. Wait, what are you doing, Grimoire? And then, in the grand finale of the game, we get the opportunity to face the 3 remaining scribes. Grimoire explains why she chose to delete Inscryption. And then... we get the opportunity for one last game with Leshy. Finally back at his familiar wooden table, with the deck we used to defeat him. This moment is somber and respectfully quiet, with only a reprise of the music that played in Act 1. And then... this moment is incredibly effective, because now the moves we make, the cards we play, it doesn't matter. Now we play for the sake of the game itself. And it is in this moment I feel that truly solidifies this game as a masterpiece. A final game with one who was once our enemy. Now one we can almost call a friend. A friend who only wanted to play his game with us. If Inscryption had ended here, I would have been very happy. Of course it doesn't. We still have to fight Magnificus. We need to find out what happens to Luke. So in a dramatic finale, we fight Magnificus until he is deleted. We open the old data, and we are given the true, horrible nature of what lies deep within the disk of Inscryption. And we witness the fate of Luke Carter. I remember sitting at the living room table, just staring at the screen. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine that this game would go the places that it did. Inscryption is a showcase of what the medium of video games can do. The unique and incredible experiences that a medium like this can bring to the table. Daniel Mullins is an absolute genius game developer. All of his games are incredible, but I feel that Inscryption shows a culmination of years of experience working on games and a combining of concepts previously explored, masterfully executed in a single beautiful game. I love Inscryption. It remains among my favorite games of all times. It is certainly not a normal game, and it is all the better for that. It is a roller coaster ride that displays what video games can do. Inscryption is incredible, and every piece of praise it's gotten is 100% deserved. And I am glad that I have had the chance today to add my little insignificant piece of praise to the very large pile. Thank you for watching.